Alright, so in this video I'm going to go through how you can improve your show up rate. So this will be targeted towards B2C info products with the two call process. So first a set call and then a closing call. So what you can do on the set call before the closing call to really improve your show up rate. So this is very important. This is a very important metric, not only because it's very, very close to the money, but also to ensure that our energy is optimized throughout the day. So this will be from my own experiences, but also a lot of the knowledge that I've gained through courses, through YouTube videos, and just analyzing a lot of sales process throughout the past couple of months. So when it comes to show up rates, I would say there are four very important factors. Number one is the prospect's motivation to show up. Number two is the booking process. Number three is the post/pre-call processes. And number four, it's what you do on the call. So number one, the prospect's motivation to show up. So if the prospect feels like there won't be anything in it for them to show up, most of the time they won't show up, right? Especially if you speak with a lot of prospects who are a little bit more advanced to really value their time, such as business owners. So what is very important here is that we see it from the prospect's perspective and understand that the questions they ask themselves. Okay, so for example, they're going to ask themselves, why should I even show up? What's in it for me? What can they help me with? All right, do I want to speak with them? Am I going to get hard sold too? Okay, so they think all about themselves. All right, so it's very, very important for us to understand what the prospect thinks, and then we can frame the set call in a way that takes away those beliefs and fears. We don't want them to be afraid to get hard sold to. All right, so this is very important that we understand what the prospect thinks. So how do we actually motivate them to show up? So the absolute most important factor in making the prospect show up is making them understand that they have a problem that they cannot or do not want to solve on their own, and that we have the solution to. All right, if they feel like they have the solution to the problem, if they feel like they don't even have a problem, then why should they show up, right? That's just going to be a waste of time. And most of the time, they don't even have the clarity of, number one, that they have a problem, or number two, that they don't have a solution on it. So that is the setter's responsibility to actually bring that up to the surface so that they get the clarity on it. For example, if a prospect is not very happy with their 9 to 5 job, and they have tried starting their own business, but they don't know where to start, then what we can do is we can help them by providing a step-by-step course on how to get started from ground zero, basically. And like I said, most prospects don't even have the clarity on this. Most prospects don't even have the clarity on that they have a problem even. So that is, like I said, the seller's responsibility to bring that up to the surface, to make the prospect understand that, okay? Because then they're gonna feel motivated to show up. So what we also need to do is sell in the next meeting by providing value. What can they get out of the call that will benefit them? That's what they're gonna think. Can we give them insights? Can we provide value? Can we help them make a tailored plan for their specific situation? This is something that we can sell in the meeting with, okay? Number three is having high energy, but not too high. So this is very simple, but if you're boring and monotone, who wants to speak with you, right? So if that's all they have on you, then why should they want to speak with you? And this, again, this is for hybrid sales reps. So if you book your own call, so this is very important that you have the right energy, because they are going to speak with you on the second call as well. But also it's very important that we don't have too much energy here. Okay, we don't want to give off salesy signals. Okay, and if we have high energy, they're gonna think, okay, maybe this is sales rep. This is someone that's gonna sell me hard on this, and they don't want that. All right. People get sold to all the time, all right? So people have the guards up, and if they feel salesy energy, then they're going to be a lot more resistant to it. And number four, this is very, very important. That is challenging the prospects. And this is something that we should do throughout the whole sales process, but it's very crucial when you do book a call. For example, if you can tell by their tone of voice, when you ask them to book a call, that they say yes, but you can hear that maybe they don't really want to. They say, yeah, why not? Something like that. Then you can tell by the tone of voice or the words that they use that maybe they're not that happy to jump on a call. So what we should do is just challenge that. It sounds to me, John, that there's something in the way of you actually wanting to jump on a call. and then just bring that up to the surface so that you can handle it there and then. Because what we don't want to happen is that they leave the set call, then you're gonna still have that concern in their mind. It could be just a small concern, whatever. I cannot think of an example right now, but it could just be like a very irrelevant concern that they might have, and because they have that small concern, they don't want to show up to the next call. Another example is to really challenge them is, and this is more about bringing up their challenges to the surface. So the question you can ask is, why don't you just do this all on your own? Because then number one, you might disqualify them. Maybe they feel like they can do it all on their own. Then you're just going to waste time on booking them in on closing call. Number two, they're going to get clarity on why they cannot do it, and then they're going to sell themselves onto why they need our solution. So challenging prospects, this is crucial throughout this whole sales process, but especially when you're booking a call. Number two is about the booking process. So this is the phase after the discovery in the set call, where you're booking the prospect for the next call. So it is very important that we are clear here about what the next steps are. We don't book them too far ahead, and we end it off well, because we, as humans, we have this recently bias that we tend to remember the last thing that was said. Okay, we tend to remember the last part of a call or a conversation, for example. We don't really remember the first part that much. We do remember the last part. So that is why it's very important for us to end off on a high note. But the most important thing here is to book them in at maximum 72 hours ahead. And here we should also challenge people, because some people, oh, let's do it next week, let's do it in 2 weeks. Okay, they don't have 45 minutes to an hour available in 2 weeks. Maybe not. All right. So what we should do is just challenge them, and don't just accept their just what they want. Okay. So I would say this is probably one of the most, if not the most important factor. And number one, why it is important. Number one, for each day that passes, the prospect will get colder and colder. Okay, we want to keep them in a state of mind that they are excited to do something about the situation. We want to have that urgency. All right. Number two, the longer in between the first and the second call, the higher is the chance that something else pops up that makes them unavailable for the next call. All right. So let's say you book them in a week ahead, then they have a week for something else to come up on that specific time that will make them not to show up. Okay. Number three, the longer they wait, the higher is the risk or chance, however we want to see it, is that they find something else, another solution to this problem. So just book them in ASAP. Number two here is be very clear about when and how the meeting is going to be. So a confused mind won't make any decisions. Make sure that they are 100% sure that they can show up on the next meeting. And number two, that they know exactly where to find the meeting link. Okay? And what's important here as well is that for the less technical prospects, people that are a little bit older maybe, make sure that you help them, make them understand how it's going to work, make sure that they know how to find it. But some small things like that could make them not show up. Number three here is giving them a way out. So what I mean by this is we don't want to push them on a meeting. At least we don't want them to feel that way. So that will actually create sales resistance, because if they feel sales resistance, then they're gonna probably think that, okay, if they push me on a meeting, then they're probably gonna push me into the program I don't want to get sold to. And when they have that fear, they're not gonna jump on a call. So how can we do this? So we can be very detached when we do book the meeting. You can use words like, would you be opposed of booking another call? Something like that. Because when they say no, because opposed is a no based question or word. When they say no, they feel like they are in control. Or you could do something like this. Okay, you know what? So next step from here would be that if it would be of interest that you and me book in a second call. So, John, where do you want to go from here? So they feel like it's their decision to book in a call. And if you have made a good enough job on a discovery phase, they want to book in another call. And also, let's say you leave it like that, you show them the door out, then, like, for example, where do you want to go from here, then you can also bring their potential objections up to the surface, and then we can handle it there and then, so that they don't jump in a call, or might not even jump in a call because they have concerns. And also, like I said, end on a high note, cannot stress this enough, so end with high energy. Right, the third factor here is the post and pre-call processes. So this is the phase between the set call and the closing call. So this can, for the most part, be automated, but we should also aim to have it personalized as well. So you want to find a balance here, though. Um, we don't want to spam the prospect with reminders, but because that will send needy signals. All right. So number one, send them a confirmation the first thing you do after jumping off the set call. One email and one on text. Okay. This can be automated if you have like a booking system for the high level. Um, then this can be automated. So this should be very clear. So you should have the meeting link there. The clear instructions about how the meeting will be, and any pre-call material that the prospect needs to watch in advance. Okay, and it's very important that we also have like the same red line throughout the whole sales process, that on how the sales process is going to be. So we cannot just switch it up and just say this is going to be a sales meeting. We have to be consistent with the message that we send to the prospects. Okay, and a good example of this is, let's say you frame the sales process as if they apply to you, as they are the ones who are going to sell themselves to you. Then you have to be consistent with that. Okay, so this could be for some of the offers that we use. Um, we get a lot of applications, and because of that, there is a scarcity of spots, for example. So the prospect have to sell themselves in. So we should be consistent with that framing. Number two is automated email reminders. So send them 2 to 3 reminders. The first 24 before, um, yeah, send one the first 24 hours before the call, and the second one 1 hour before. Okay, so it's very important that we have a balance here. Too many reminders will turn the prospect off, basically. Number three here, give them a call on the morning of the call. Okay, so ask them if this can still make it. This is an opportunity to number one, put them in a better mindset for the call by being high energy. But number two, this will allow you to reschedule them immediately, because if you come up the phone and you talk to them, then you can just reschedule them there then and there. Okay, and also what you can do is like you said, if they don't pick up, send them a text, and then you can call them later on in the day. So if you have a lot to do as well, if you have like fully booked calendar, what you can do as well is that you send a text saying that if you don't confirm this call, um, you'll cancel the meeting. Okay, but I would only do this if you have like 10, 12 booked calls a day. And then number four, send them a link of the meeting 5 minutes before. This should be automated, very, very easy. Make sure that they have access to the meeting. Okay, and then we have the last call, and that is what you do on the call. No, the last factor, what you do on the call. So what you do here, um, what you do when you are in the meeting room and they don't show up. We all have been there. It's such a frustrating feeling, but you cannot just sit there and wait. So what you do on the call, after 4 to 5 minutes, you send a link with authority. For example, hi name, this is name from XYZ. Here's the meeting link for our call. I'll only be available here for the next few minutes before my next appointment. So this will send signals to the prospect that shows that you are of high value. Okay, you have a lot of things to do. So so that means that obviously you don't really need this meeting. Okay, if you would phrase it another way, like where are you? Why don't you show up? Then you are very, very needy. Okay, so just make sure to do this with authority. If they don't reply inside the next few minutes, give them 2 to 3 calls. Just see what's up. And if they don't respond after 12 to 15, just end the call and decline the calendar invite. This will send them a notification. So remember, guys, your time is very, very valuable. So this was a pretty long video about how we can improve the sharp rate. So just let me know if you have any questions.